Hello everyone and welcome back to TIMBERBORN. This is episode 31 of the Rigger Ridge series. And this is the last day of the month. We have put a new video out for this series every single day. It has been a fantastic journey. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. In the last episode we finally set up this third district. And you can see it is right here. We have all the houses set up plus a little bit of stuff for them to do in their free time. Plus some of the basics, food, water. And they are cutting down some trees and constructing a few things over here. This is going to be a channel set up to eventually divert bad water, but we'll see how far we can get along with this whole thing today. And we also made this mini reservoir. We have 3 massive water pumps, and we will be able to continue to pump water during the droughts and the bad tides. We also had some maple grow up, and now we should be in a good spot to collecting maple syrup over here, but we will want to switch this to the bots because we've been a bit short on maple syrup recently and it still looks like we don't have any right now. Another tree problem that we were having was getting pine resin, but it looks like we are going up in pine resin now. We're up to 185 in total. The 2 mechanical water pumps in Valley High have been working. They're going through this aqueduct and spinning these water wheels, and you can see they are really filling up this mega reservoir over here. Between all 3 districts we have over 15,000 water and 14,000 food. You can see in Valley High they have 4.8 out of 6.3 thousand water. This one has not been filled up, but we don't have this water pump going right now. And then in Mountainville they have filled just about every single one of these large water tanks. We just installed these 2 in the last episode, and I think these beavers have been filling them up quite a bit in the last couple of days. We will be setting up some water pumps in this district, but before we do that we will need to get the bad water diverter set up because we don't want to have standing bad water in this area. We'll want the bad water to go out the backside, and then we can fill the rest of this with water. The beavers have been making some good progress on getting all this dynamite placed. I think that we will probably, once we get all this placed, we'll have some more dynamite down here and then set up some levees on the side. And that would probably extend over here as well, so that way the bad water isn't spilling out side to side too much. With those couple beavers, I think it'd be a good idea to get some irrigation centers. And with that, we would be able to plant or we get some farmhouses and then also a forester set up. So there are some new irrigation mechanics, and I don't know if it's always been this way, but now if you have a fluid dump set up, it won't overtop the level that it's spilling water into. And once we get this dynamite placed and a fluid dump placed here, then it'll make a little bit more sense. And we do have a lot that we will be constructing in this district in today's episode. But getting a hauling post for all the beavers that grow up before they have a building to go work in, I think that would be a good idea. And we're going to get this constructed right here. We'll have this building as the one with the lower priority. We can go ahead and bump these builders up to a little bit higher priority. And they do have 4 baby beavers, which they should be growing up in just a little bit, and then they will continue to expand the population. Let's go ahead and detonate all this, and then we can get a fluid dump placed here. And we are going to finally unpause this final lodge in Mountainville. We do have quite a few babies and some vacant beds, but we do have some jobs that are also not being filled right now. And with day 14, it looks like we have a drought approaching. 3 days until the drought arrives, but we are doing fantastic on water, and you can see the water is all the way up to here. Is it spilling out here at all? It is not quite yet, but I think that it should be very quickly because we have that just at this level. So now let's take a look if the bots have been collecting any of this maple syrup now that we have 2 tapper shacks with bots, and it looks like they do. So let's take a look. Catalyst is still pretty low, and then maple pastries. Oh, we don't have any storage for that. We should get that set up here. We'll get this set to maple pastries, and then they'll be able to store that in here. We don't have a whole lot, so we probably won't be filling this up too quickly. But if we prioritize this building by haulers, we can do the same for bread, then that should increase the numbers there. And then we do want to make sure we're getting enough catalyst, and it looks like they should be getting the maple syrup brought to them. And back in District 3, this guy is done chopping down everything he can, so we can give that a pause. And we can also get another water dump set up here. And they are in the process of building this. And then they're going to pretty quickly start filling this up with water, which means we'll want to get a forester set up here. So this forester will be one of the more important jobs. I think we'll stick with oak since that is the most efficient tree to plant. Down here they did finish all the dynamite, so we can go ahead and detonate that. And I missed this one. I don't love that. Let's get that fixed really quickly. We'll make this a double, and then we'll get all of this set to 1 deep. And then we can start having some levees on the side here. So with this job we can have the water dumped and then pause it for now. And then we'll let this one fill up a little bit more. And then we can also look at getting a farmhouse set up. And then this job will be one that we have them start planting some food, but we won't need them to be hanging around when all the crops grow. So we can also probably reduce it to 1 worker for now. And the drought has started, but I'm going to pause it real quick and start pausing some of the water pumpers. Oh, and you can see that the water actually did start spilling out here. It's filling in these little dams over here. And while we're in this area, you can see that the beavers have made excellent progress getting rid of the scrap metal. They are actually maxed out. So in this district, we can... Wait, we have 8 unemployed bots, but 8 vacancies. That doesn't make sense. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, how is that possible? Oh, I know how. It's because I paused it and then did that. Let's play. Okay, that works out. Well, we can pause these 2. And that should still be enough scrap metal for this whole district. We can go ahead and resume. And then, yeah, it looks like we have these 3, which... So these guys will be pumping during the drought. We only have 1 beaver working in each of these. We'll see how much water 1 beaver in each will reduce this level. We'll see how low it goes. And they're already maxed out on water, so they're actually not even pumping full time. Although I'm seeing that... Oh, I know why. This was reduced. I didn't really want that. If we get rid of this, that should fill this water up a little bit. And then we can have them construct this. Although maybe we should have an adjustable floodgate here. Let's do that. That'll just give us the freedom to lower it 1 level if needed. And then normally we'll have it set to 1 high. Because apparently that 1 little elevation change in water makes a difference for the crops over here. We do have some unemployed beavers, and I'm guessing that is over here in Valley High. It is. Let's see if there's any jobs we can put them in. They don't really have that much to do. They're maxed out on carrots. They're maxed out on everything, so they're not really needing to collect all this. As you can see that they have some boxes of carrots left here. We could set up some fun activities on this side of the river, or this side of the aqueduct, and I think we could do that along this direction. We'll let the beavers construct this little path over here, because what I'm thinking is we could tie in some gravity batteries and some windmills and then start getting some fun activity set up, maybe even getting an agora. But I was thinking something like a carousel and maybe even the first mud bath. They do have a dance hall over here already. We haven't used any lidos at all. We're going to get rid of some of these trees over here and actually delete these because we don't have bad water flowing through here anymore. And then we're going to get the first lido set up. So we can barely fit 1 right here. And then we can get another one right in here as well. Back in District 3, they are making some good progress on getting the dynamite placed here. And then they will be able to get some of the levees outlined. And we are going to also want to start looking at getting the bad water diverter set up here. That will also mean dynamiting all of this out. So we may as well start that during the drought. I feel like that's the best time to do it. So we're going to start with this. They do have some trees that they are planting, and they haven't worked on this yet. But I think that's because of the priority level, so we'll want to bump that up. They do have, oh, they have a lot of wood. Resource check for these guys. They have underwater, which is not too bad. Good amount of wood, and food is great. And then they have planks, dynamite, and extract, which is really all they need right now. Eventually they will need some gears and metal blocks. We don't have any storage set up for that right now. Back in District 3, we do have this farmhouse set up, so we can get some crops planted. I think we'll just stick with carrots and sunflowers for now, since we don't need to have any other buildings to build out for like making food, like with potatoes and wheat. But in the future we can definitely expand this all the way down here, and we could probably build some platforms across to plant here if we want to. Since we are still pretty low on catalyst, and it seems like these guys have been getting all the resources they need, I think it's just because of the amount of bots that we have. We're still at 127, which I think we were right around there in the last episode. So what we'll want to do is get another refinery set up. And then we'll have this one set to catalyst as well. And I believe this recipe takes maple syrup and extract. We are doing great on extract. Bad water, we still have 3 of these full, but let's actually switch this to extract, since we have 3 large water tanks for bad water, and then we have these 3 for extract. We do have all these bots working in the bad water pumps, but we haven't really needed to have all of them running in the last couple episodes since we were maxed out. So what I was talking about earlier about the fluid dump, you can see this guy's just sitting here. He is not going to dump any water in here since it is at the very tippy top of this tile. And I do see there is a beaver sitting in here. I don't know why. Oh. Well, first off, let's connect this right here. We have enough logs and planks. I don't know why there isn't a beaver helping to place stuff right here. It seems like there's plenty of things for these beavers to help out with. So I see him in here once again, but we have logs and planks that really could be delivered to this right here and all these buildings over here. You can see all these haulers are not helping out with anything. They just rush back in here and sit down. With all these haulers doing nothing, it's really not even worth having this building. So maybe we'll set up a builder's hut instead. Put that on the backside right here. I have no idea why they're not helping out to construct all these buildings like this, these warehouses right here, and also all this stuff down here. A little bit frustrating. I don't know why, but if you guys know, please let me know in the comments down below. It seems like they just are not doing literally anything. So we're going to pause this for now, and then we will bump this up a little bit and prioritize this building because we want to get this constructed so that we can actually have some beavers working. And we only have about half a day left in the drought. Water, we're still at 13,000. In this district, they're still hovering around 100 water. But then it looks like they did finish pumping all the water over here. So these beavers, oh wow, there are 12 unemployed beavers in this district. You can see some of these crops are actually not doing too hot. So we're going to try and removing a few of these trees and then just expand this area a little bit and let some of the water get a little bit closer to this. And with the drought being over, we can start unpausing these buildings and continue to fill up the mega reservoir. They did build this builder's hut, and we still have an unemployed beaver. So let's try turning this on again. We'll see if he is just going to be sitting in here. And he is. I don't know why. We'll try removing it and then just building a different one. I doubt this is going to change much, but we'll just set this one to be over in this area instead. So they got this dynamite placed, and we can go ahead and explode that. That will extend the range a little bit over here. But I don't think that, yeah. We'll need the water to go up in elevation for these trees to start getting irrigated. But the water is coming back, so that will start filling this whole thing up. And the beavers have been making some good progress over here, despite the haulers not wanting to work. But we can shove a couple beavers in this farmhouse now that some of the carrots have started growing up. And they are ready for the picking. And we do have this lumberjack flag also set so he can cut down some of these trees. And then as soon as we get this whole channel set up, we can look at getting the dynamite placed over here. We had this beaver. He went and chopped everything down, and he is no longer needed to be a lumberjack over here. We can get that dynamite exploded and get this final large, or final vertical power shaft set up. And the beavers who are doing nothing will come and get all these little stumps removed. And we can go ahead and get some gravity batteries set up over here. This will be just a little bit of extra storage for some of the power in this whole system, because right now we just have these couple gravity batteries, and they've been doing the trick, but as soon as we start adding in some more buildings that require power, it'll probably be good to have a couple more. It looks like we have all the beds occupied in this district, which means that we're going to start getting some more placed here pretty quickly. We will want to get these two buildings prioritized by the haulers and the builders, although I'm not seeing any haulers right now. Maybe they're actually helping out. There's only one. I don't know where he is. Looks like he is moving some stuff around. Even if it's just the farmhouse, that's doing something. Looks like catalyst is going up quite a bit. We're up to 190 in total. So I think having this second refinery has been just what we needed. They have a lot of maple syrup. How are we doing overall? We have 25. Let's prioritize this building by haulers. Let's go ahead and switch this to bots. We'll bump that up, and then we'll actually do the opposite. We can even just like pause this one. Okay, and oh, where'd he go? He was doing something. It seems like they only want to help the farmhouse out for some reason. And we can go ahead and detonate all this dynamite. We'll slow it down just a little bit. Now that we have this one unpaused, I didn't want them to get trapped in here, but they can construct this and they should be able to reach all of these platforms, or all these levees. We just need to extend the path to make sure that they can reach. Same over here. It does look like they have actually started constructing some of the dynamite up here. And that's probably because they could only reach this one levee. But as soon as they finish all this, then we can start detonating it. We will want to set up some levees over here. So we're going to go up to 3 high. And they won't be able to reach it. So we're going to build some platforms over here as well. We're going to actually switch this one out so that way we can get a staircase down here, and so we can have this beaver who is doing nothing. Then he'll be able to chop down some of these trees. So they finished all of this. Since we're not relying on it for water, I don't see any harm in doing this. And then we'll detonate this right here. So the water is coming out of this side. which means that we will eventually, once we have these levees set up, we can get some double floodgates placed right here, and those will go along this area. Want to do one levee right here, and then that they should be able to raise it up. We'll raise the double floodgates up, and that will back their water over here. Back in Valley High, they did complete these gravity batteries. We can turn this on. So now we have we haven't unlocked stuff in a while. We have 51,000 science, so we have no problem unlocking any of this. We'll get the carousel. Let's do that right here. And then we'll get the mud bath placed over here as well. Get a couple of those and do the same thing. Just need to connect it. And I think this should, yeah. That's a good spot for the connection point. And we should look at getting some of those over in this district as well. They have some fun stuff. But they don't have the mud bath or the carousel. And it seems like this is the fun zone. So let's see if we can get them constructed over here. Although we'll need to figure out how to get power over to this area. It looks like our bad water is actually going down a little bit. So we're going to go in and pause some of these. We're also running a little bit low on bots for jobs. And we have a lot of unemployed beavers. So we can go ahead and make a few switches. Some of these bots sitting around doing nothing. They seem like good candidates. It's funny seeing the water, how it shows it. It looks like it's going up and then down and then up and down. Even though in reality it's just going right through here. Oh, you can see the water is somehow starting to go backwards just a little bit. We haven't even really built anything to stop the flow. There are 9 babies in this district, and we have a few more jobs that we can pop them into, but it seems like this hauling post isn't really doing a whole lot. So we'll probably get yet another builder's hut. Get that set up right here and increase the priority in terms of construction. Then we can set this one to lowest and this one to lower. And they built this carousel pretty quickly. And I don't know if they have treated planks in here. So they're in the process. Oh, there they go. They're constructing this one first. Although it won't be powered until they finish building this one. Man, the beavers are bold and hopping on and off of this. The reservoir is it completely full? Not quite. There's no water spilling out of here quite yet. But pretty shortly I think it will. And then it'll start going down this way. I want to make sure that it actually ends up going into the river. And as long as we get this path set up, they should be able to reach everything. Water is dropping a little bit. I'm not loving that. Ooh, you can see it's starting to go out the backside. And it looks like the channel is working just as desired. We haven't quite finished it down here. But they're in the process of getting it constructed. Although, oh, we missed out on this path. Now they should be able to reach that. So they did finish building all of this so we can get these double floodgates set up. Although I was afraid they wouldn't be able to construct this one quite yet. What we can do is delete this once the beaver, so he's gone. So now we'll just have to put those there. And then another set of stairs down. So as long as they build this first, then the bot, or the lumberjack should be able to continue on his way over here. Plus he will have access to all these trees on this level. And so we will also want to get some floodgates set up on this side. So they should be able to construct all of this. They'll just need to get the platforms in first, and then they will be able to reach all these. Water is dropping a bit, and we don't even have the fluid dumps on. I think it might have something to do with how many haulers we have bringing resources. So if we just add, let's just go all the way up to 10. And soon we will want to get a water pump over here. But we will need to get some floodgates over here. We'll probably put some levees in like this. think we're going to do 2 because I'm going to want to make a row of levees all the way around on this side. That way it'll be at the same level as this wall on the back side. And then we'll look at getting a large water pump since that's way more efficient. Oh, we're missing dirt over here. Well, we can fix that. We just need to get some storage set up. Set that to dirt, and then we gotta check the exports because there's a lot of dirt in Mountainville. And we have a whole lot, so let's just bump that down to 50%. And then Valley High, they have import if needed, and they need it, so they should be able to get that. And then is it take a usage? So they said to put dirt in there, so we will want to turn back on this dirt excavator, but we don't need a whole lot of beaver power to work in here. And we do have a bad tide approaching. We are in a pretty good spot. Water is still fantastic, and I don't think we'll really be worried about water except for in this district over here. And now we have some more haulers, so hopefully that's going to help bump up the water levels. And when I say haulers, I mean working in the district crossing, because these haulers are doing nothing. And it looks like they did finally finish getting this little spillway set up, and this is pretty dang cool. There's not a whole lot of water coming down here, but it's also split between going this direction and this direction. But we did get these levees set up before the bad tide, so we'll be able to raise this and divert the bad water over here. And I think that is an excellent place to wrap up today's video. We are making some good progress in this 3rd district. I'm still not sure why the haulers aren't working, and we still need a name for this district. So if you guys have any suggestions for either of those things, please leave a comment down below. In Valley High, we also got some fun stuff set up. You can see the beavers are enjoying the mud bath and the carousel, and we will continue to expand our power storage. But it looks like we are actually running really low on power, and this uses 400 HP. We're gonna have to expand some more large windmills probably over here in the next episode. And with that, we wrap up the 31st day of beaver videos. I'm going to take a couple days off, but there will be some more content coming up in the future. We will be doing some videos through this series and then probably some standalone videos. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. And with that, we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.